All right, now let's talk acts on climate right now here on the AM show. Let me introduce my guests who are seated in studio ready for this conversation. Mr. Foster Osai-Akono is chairman of the Ghana Green Building Council. Also in studios, Mr. Kofi Isialapia, board member, Ghana Green Building Council. Good morning, gentlemen, again. Yeah, Thank you for being here. Why don't you tell us, first of all, about the Ghana Green Building?
Okay. Yeah, Ghana Green Building Council, it's a member of the World Green Building Council. And the mission for the council is to transform the built environment in Ghana towards sustainability through the way we plan, design, construct, operate, and maintain our buildings and communities.
Okay.
The council was officially launched in August 2011, and we've been very instrumental in policy direction, among others. We're key players in the development of the Ghana Building Code, which was launched by the Vice President in November 2008. And the role we played was we developed the Part 37 of the Building Code, which is on green buildings, and is supposed to be mandatory for the issuance of building permit for construction.
Mm. Okay. So I have further questions on what you said, but let me ask Mr. Isialapia, how does a green building look like for the ordinary person who's had green building? Is it a green building?
Exactly. That is the interesting part of it. Really what happens is that green is a whole encompassing description. The building doesn't have to be green to be a green building. The key word here is sustainability to planet Earth. And there's no more significant color to use than green, to keep in reference to nature and to make sure that this whole vehicle called Earth that we live in is sustained. So there are certain measures that you need to take to ensure that this sustainability is achieved. And buildings have a very critical role in terms of making or unmaking the planet. And it's an incredible percentage of influence in terms of the use of the planet resources. And hence the reason for the development of the World Building Council to try and address these issues on the macro level.
All right. My next question is for you to tell me which buildings, if there are significant buildings that are green buildings. But I think readily I know one that you were instrumental in helping put up recently, which is the first isolation treatment center.
Absolutely.
The private sector COVID-19 fund.
Yes.
Okay. So what other buildings can our viewers point to?
All right, okay. So the first building that was certified as green building, which were very instrumental, Ghana Green Building Council certified it in collaboration with the Green Building Council of South Africa, and is the One Airport Square, located at the airport city, which is about 20,000 square meter commercial office building. The building conserves a lot of energy. It uses water wisely, because there are sensors to so water conservation is key. The ecological value is maintained. It uses less energy, among others. So the building, the indoor environment quality in the building is great, which helps to promote the health and well-being of the people within the building. They can communicate to the outside without the, so when you go to the building and it's so cold, it's so cool. You enter the what's it called, the main reception, and you can see through to the
sky. Which building again? Let me try and get my director to Google and see if we can appreciate the building you're talking about. So first of all, can you show us the isolation and treatment center, the one put up recently, and then this other building?
And then the One Airport Square.
The One Airport Square.
Yes, it's at the airport city. It's located at the airport city next to Holiday Inn Hotel.
Okay. Yeah. Can we have our homes also going green? Yes. How would the home like that look like?
In fact, the building code that I talked about has made provision for making home as little as 75 square meters as green. And some of the things are so basic. So let's talk about flooding, for instance. How do we reduce flooding?
You've just been talking about flooding
Yes.
just before this conversation.
Okay. In the building code, to reduce the concrete surface, the hard surfaces, because when it rains, the water runs off on the hard surfaces. And where does it go? That is where we have flooding. So 50% of the undeveloped land should be what's it called, soft landscaping. So when the water, when it rains, it percolates into the ground.
Okay.
Okay. Recycling. Okay, so waste segregation within the home, for instance, will help to reduce the waste at the landfill site. Okay, you segregate and then recycle those ones. Most homes you enter and the first thing you do is to turn on the light before you can see, because the place is so dark. You can draw natural light through the sky into the building.
Isn't that, Mr. Esalapia, isn't that a bit expensive?
No.
Because, you know, we have to seek expertise such as yourself. And
yes.
ordinarily, people feel like experts like that are expensive.
No, the issue is really a question of, it's not about expense, it's about value. And we need to start valuing our lives, because even simple things like indoor air quality can build up and eventually affect your lifespan. So what do you want? Do you want direction, or want to continue in that state in which everything is wasteful? Your energy bills are going up simply because you didn't open the windows at the right places. And we think that the expertise is available in this country, and we must all strive to work with persons who have the skill. And then that's across the various institutions. And the Green Council itself is readily available to support many things. Our clarion call is to make that visibility clear to the populace of this nation and to everybody that the world is not what it used to be hundreds of years ago.
We just showed the infectious disease center. This is it got the green certificate.
It did, yes. So what it does is it's energy saving in a very big way by the very nature of the materials that have been selected. In a building like that, where you need to have full air conditioning all the time, naturally you want to keep that kind of climatic effect in there, which doesn't lose the cooling that you're generating. And that's a key indicator for achieving.
Mr. Chairman, what has climate change got to do with green housing?
Okay, so buildings and construction contribute to 39% of the carbon emission. How do we reduce that? Use green buildings to reduce it. Using renewable energy, which does not emit carbon.
Okay.
Okay, so heading towards what is called net zero, okay, which is very achievable even within our our setting. There are basic strategies just have to put in place. First, try to have a policy direction, and then develop the necessary documentation and see how best we can implement it together, not as Green Building Council standalone, but together with all citizenry. So I'm talking about the private sector, the public sector, and the entire citizenry. In Ghana, everybody is a builder. Everybody knows how to build. And that's the challenge we have. That's the huge challenge we have, even the elite think that, oh, why do we use professionals to do our buildings? And you go to a lot of buildings and there was nothing to write home about. We have to act now on climate, otherwise we have no choice than to risk our lives and the lives of our unborn children.
I'd like to ask very basic questions. So if somebody is thinking about building, they're in the process of, what's the first thing, like how should they begin, who should they talk to?
So talking to an architect is very key. That's it. But you know, the question here is, so I'd ask you a simple question. How about paying 100 cedis for your monthly electricity bill instead of 1,000 cedis?
Okay.
You like that sound?
You have my
Or how
attention.
about paying nothing? So that can be achieved through careful design. Careful design where we introduce natural light, where we introduce systems that will enable you to go upgrade. That net zero, that's what net zero means, essentially. So that's a very attractive case for why we should go that way. And the expertise is, like I said, is available. Ghana Green Building Council is available.
So this is a council that somebody can just call or email and ask questions?
Yes,
Exactly.
Okay.
It's available.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what has trees got to do with this as well? What's the link?
Oh, remember when the last tree dies, the last man dies.
Yes.
Okay. What does tree do? We need oxygen. We breathe out carbon dioxide. The tree takes the carbon dioxide to reduce whatever effect it has on us. In addition, trees reduce the heat generated. What's it called? They reduce the hard or the heat island effect. So let's say you have hard surface and you put just one tree there and check the temperature against a hard surface without a tree. You see the micro climatic condition is changed. So that is why trees are very important for human beings. We thrive on them. They also depend on us.
It's Accra hot. Yes, so a simple tree action by the nation over a period of time can drop the temperature of Accra by a whooping 2 degrees.
You know, what you're telling us is a very great initiative, and I'm thinking if the state was on board, for instance, it would make a huge impact. So how much of a collaboration is there on that level?
All right, so yesterday we presented a letter to the president through the Honorable Minister for Works and Housing and calling on government to take action on climate. Basically, to look at the fact that we signed on to the SDGs in 2015 and they are to be achieved in 2030. We have limited time. When it was put together by the developed countries, they knew where they were and we were nowhere. And we say, yeah, we can do it. Now we have to double up. So to take the action now, not later, to look at the nationally determined contribution by countries. Ours, for instance, knowing very well that buildings and construction play a key role in achieving these SDGs, tailor the NDCs. I'm not talking about party.
The political party.
No, I'm talking about nationally determined goals. Tailor them towards achieving net zero buildings and communities in Ghana. Making sure that right from 2021, all buildings done by government, done by the private sector, and the assembly have to up their game. We can hold hands and make sure that we turn the built environment to a sustainable one. So we have 2 things that the government have to do. 2030 and then 2050.
Okay.
By 2050, most buildings, new construction, renovation, must head towards net zero.
Okay. But if we're going to achieve that, does it mean that the council must be involved from the beginning of the construction? Because, you know, we've seen a lot of...
You see, it starts with the planning. It doesn't start with the construction. The construction is the product of the planning and design. So all stakeholders have to be around the table at the same time for everybody to understand what it is. The financier putting his money where his mouth is, have to understand that we are not doing this to, what is it called, to gain any other thing other than 3 basic benefits. Economic. So you save, you can use that money to develop other infrastructure. Then we are saving the environment for the future.
Posterity.
Then
So,
number 3, social. You see, when your health is improved because you are in a good building, when your health is improved, the bottom line is your employer. The profit goes up because you will not call in sick, you will come to work regularly.
So this is on a larger scale. We're
Yes.
talking. We've just talked about the states. How about us as individual?
Yes, individual. So he starts with that old saying that when the last tree dies, one dies. So even in your own home, by introducing trees, introducing plants in your neighborhood, along the streets, you start cooling the place and it becomes more pleasant to live in. But we can start, and you don't want government alone to take that drive. But when the populace is sensitized to understand the importance of these things, it doesn't take much to plant a tree a year. We're calling on everybody to be part of it, to be part of this, and to understand where we are going to. Ghana is blessed in a way, different from other Sahelian countries, which have the deserts creeping at a massive rate. If we wait, it will come to us, and we want to start today.
Sure.
And also for the individuals, at home, let's engage professionals to do our work for us. It's very important.
So listening to you, I'm thinking, oh, there are lots of changes that I could make to my own home. If somebody is asking that same question, is it too late to go green, even if you have a completed building?
No, it is not late. It is never late. Okay, it's not late. You can renovate your building. You can change your windows if you have saved some money. You can change your windows to double glazing, which will reduce the heat gain in the building and reduce what's it called?
Air conditioning costs.
Your air conditioning costs, among others.
Okay.
If you know that your hallway is dark, you can introduce natural lighting. It's never too late to do those things.
Okay. So let's end with your contacts and how people can reach the council with their many questions.
All right, okay. So you can email the council at info@gagbc.org. Our website is gagbc.org. Phone number, you can reach us on 024-432-2660. These are the basic information. We are located at Jowolu.
Okay. Please say the number again.
024-432-2660.
Okay.
And then you can also reach us on 024-427-1077.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time this morning. Thank you for helping us appreciate these issues that sometimes sounds very far from us. You know, you can only imagine, but you bring a lot of meaning to it. So thank you.
Close.
Yeah.